I'm now here for my Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn full card predictions and breakdowns now. So let's get right into this then. This should be interesting. Let's start off with Vidal Riley versus Chev. I'm going with Vidal Riley to win this fight. I like the movement of Vidal Riley. I like the way he moves around the ring. He's a difficult man to pin down. And I kind of saw traits of something that Chev struggles with in the Ellis Zorro fight. And he was getting frustrated because Zorro was moving around pretty well at times, especially early on. Chev couldn't fully pin Zorro down and couldn't really get his work going. And Vidal Riley's always a moving target. He can keep up his pace for a good long time. I think this one goes the distance. I feel like it'll be a good battle. And up close, Chev could get the opposite of success, but Vidal moves too well for him. Chev's going to look to take the initiative on the front foot, but Vidal's going to put on a good masterclass on the back foot. Keep that jab coming in Chev's face. Chev's pretty stiff at times. Vidal's pretty loose, to be fair, on the back foot. Good loose jab he's got. Good backhand. Mixes his shots up nicely. Good angle changes that Vidal's got. I think he's going to be able to frustrate Chev. And obviously, Clark's coming off a loss as well. But he has fought at a higher level than Vidal Riley so far. It is Vidal's toughest test of his career, 100% in my opinion. But I think it's one that he will win. Double at that jab. Keep it going. I think Vidal can beat Chev with the good basic fundamentals of boxing. Vidal's got real good footwork and he knows his way around the ring nicely. Chev, he's just stiff at times. I don't fully rate his angle work. I think Vidal's going to be able to outbox him. It could be comfortable, but here and there, Clark might get the opposite of success. But Vidal's a difficult man to pin down, and I think that's going to show in this fight. And I do think he's a slight level above Chev, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm saying that Vidal Riley will beat Chev, unanimous decision. Next up, then, we go to Chris Smith versus Brandon Glanton. I'm going with Chris Smith to win this on points. He's not going to get a knockout here. I feel like it's an interesting scrap. Brandon Glanton's very good on the inside. Smith's good at, landing some good thumping shots to the body on the inside. I've never been overly sold on Smith's style, but, he was a world champion, so yeah, he's good enough to beat Brandon Glanton. Glanton isn't bad at all. I mean, it says he lost to David Light on his record, but he didn't really lose that fight. Brandon Glanton's a good hard hitter, pretty relentless, always keeps coming. I think he's going to be difficult for Smith, and I feel like Brandon Glanton's going to be able to nick a few rounds. It'd be like 8-4. It could be a close fight, this. I feel like you can't really sleep on Brandon Glanton because he can very much win this fight. You can't rule out Brandon Glanton. He's someone who you could put your money on, and it'll be good odds if he does win. So, yeah, I can't rule him out, but I'm going with Chris Smith to win. That's what I'm going to say. Smith wins this on points. I feel like he'll, land the slightly more cleaner work, Smith's pretty good at smothering his work as well. And it's a tough fight to take after coming off that loss to Zerdo. It is. But, yeah, I think Smith's the harder puncher. I think he'll land the more eye-catching shots, and I think that's going to do it. But Glanton's got a good work rate, which could trouble Smith. But yeah, Smith's good, smothering his work. He's a good, strong guy, knows clinches, difficult to bully. He'll be able to bully Glanton. But again, Glanton's strong as well. It's a good fight, this, but I think Smith wins. He'll probably make it boring. But it's an interesting one to talk about. But yeah, Glanton's going to get success. It can make it entertaining. I don't know, but I'm going with Smith on points. Okay, next up, we've got Liam Beefy Smith versus Aaron McKenna. Interesting fight. I was thinking Aaron McKenna, but after fully looking into this fight, I'm going with Liam Smith. I know he's been out for a while. He hasn't had a fight since Eubank, but I think he's got enough in the tank to beat McKenna. And I feel like, in a way, McKenna's there to be hit for Liam Smith. He's there to be caught, and in a way, could be slightly tailor-made for Smith to beat. Smith is going to like fighting McKenna because he's going to catch his chin many times, if I'm being honest. He is going to be catching his chin. McKenna might be all right early on. try and keep Smith at range. I mean, that is what happens. Smith does take a bit of time to, figure out getting on the inside. But once he does, McKenna isn't keeping Liam Smith off him. McKenna's not got the experience to keep someone like Liam Smith off him. And Liam Smith's not exactly old. I mean, he looks like he's about 45. But I think he's like, 34, 35? He's not too old just yet. McKenna's young. He's a good, fresh guy. But he ain't keeping Liam Smith off him. Smith's going to wear him down as the fight goes on. I'm saying Liam Smith's going to win this via 8th, 9th round stoppage. That's what I'm going to say. I think he's gonna be just relentless when he's coming forward still. I can't see McKenna outworking him. Smith's gonna drain him. When Smith's in there with you, he's very good at physically and mentally draining you. And that's what he's gonna do to Aaron McKenna. He's gonna have a field day as the fight goes on, catching the chin of his, because he leaves it high in the air, Aaron McKenna does. He's got decent footwork, he's good behind his jab, but I can't see him keeping Smith off him. And to keep someone like Liam Smith off you need to have good power. And McKenna, I know he's got 10 knockouts at 19, but I just don't think he's got that massive shot power just to shut your lights out. And Smith's got a good chin on him. He's going to keep on coming forward. I think Liam Smith wins this fight. It's going to be a good fight, but Smith's going to prove to be too good. Smith's going to show that, he's a level above Aaron McKenna at this moment in time, and I think Liam Smith's got enough in the tank. He's been out for a while though, so that does put something in Aaron McKenna's favor. And Aaron McKenna is looking good at the moment, but no, I think Smith's gonna beat him. I think he will. But again, good fight. You could put money on McKenna; he could do it, but I'd say Liam Smith. I'm confident he wins. I'm confident. Okay, next up we go to Anthony Yarde versus Lyndon Arthur. The trilogy between these two. Obviously, first fight, Lyndon Arthur won via split decision. Second fight, Anthony Yarde won 4th round KO. I'm going with Anthony Yarde to win. But if I'm being honest here, he looked awful against Wilkins. Arthur hasn't been looking great recently either. He has not been looking great. He's not been convincing at all recently. I believe his last fight was against Liam Cameron. Wasn't convincing in that at all. You would have expected him to show a different level, but no. Look, you look at the second fight. Lyndon Arthur's going to be mentally affected by that. I don't think he's been the same since. First fight, I thought Arthur was good behind the jab. Anthony Yarde had personal problems going into that fight, yes, but Arthur was good behind the jab in that fight. Yarde was just doing the same predictable stuff throughout that first fight, but he was very good at shutting down the range in that second fight, and he looked good against Beterbiev, Yarde did, but that was like 2 years ago now. Arthur's going to be good early on. I feel like it's going to be more competitive than what the second fight was, but I think Yarde's going to be able to get Lyndon Arthur out of there again. I do. I'm going to say round 7. I don't know. Round 7, I'm going to say Anthony Yarde gets to him. But, I'm not sold on Arthur's chin. He has got a good jab, though. But I think, Anthony Yarde's going to have found better ways to get around the jab, and that showed in that second fight. I think Anthony Yarde's going to win. I think he's going to be able to knock out Lyndon Arthur. The Wilkins performance wasn't great at all, though, but I think Yarde's got the power to knock him out again. Yarde's got the mental advantage. Did Lyndon Arthur really beat Yarde the first time? Yeah, he did, but in Yarde's mind, that's what we'll be thinking. And second fight, Yarde destroyed him, broke him. So I'm saying Anthony Yarde wins round 7, but Arthur's going to get success. It'll be competitive before it ends. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, next up, we've got the main event. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. The drug cheat. I'm going with the clean fighter. Chris Eubank Jr. to win this fight. I'm honestly thinking we could actually see a stoppage from Eubank. I honestly think we could. Just looking into it more today, I'm more confident now that Eubank Jr. might actually stop Conor Benn. I actually think he will. It's going to be late on 9 or 10, rounds 9, 10, 11, something like that. Eubank Jr. is going to stop Conor Benn. Conor Benn likes to dip his head a lot. He's dipping his head into those uppercuts of Eubank Jr. I do question the rehydration clause, though. Conor Benn does hit hard. He has got power, but, you know, it's hard to phase Eubank Jr. He's got a good chin. But, you know, against Camille, Eubank Jr. is very hittable. But Conor Benn is more hittable than you think. Orozco got success against Conor Benn. Pete Dobson got a lot of success against Conor Benn. I was watching that back today. I'm like, I forgot actually how much success Pete Dobson got. And Eubank Jr. is a good accurate puncher. Conor Benn, you know, Conor Benn's pretty explosive, but he comes forward a bit. And I feel like Eubank can time him onto the uppercut. Eubank can time a good shot to the body. Eubank was throwing good quick punches against Camille. He was throwing good quick punches against Smith the second time. I thought he was all right the first time before he got stopped against Smith. He is still quick. I mean, his reflexes aren't what they once were. But I think Eubank's got enough in the tank. I am scared, though, like that he might lose because the rehydration clause. That's the only reason Eubank will lose is because he's trained. And Eubank doesn't win this fight because he's the bigger man. Eubank wins this fight. He's the more skilled boxer. If Eubank can set the pace behind his jab, he's going to win the fight. Keep Conor Benn off him early with that jab. Keep the pace going. And I do like, you know, Chris Eubank Jr.'s quick pivots off after he did his work, following up. He has got good angle work, to be fair, Eubank. I think that's underrated. But the uppercut's a very good shot from Eubank. The jab, and I feel like he can have Benn walking into that. And I see Benn getting countered quite a lot. But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Eubank Jr. wins around 10-11. Anyway, thank you for watching. Speak to you in the next one.